Good morning and welcome in. Before we get into this morning's update, I would like to go over a quick overview of what I feel are the most important points this morning. As we can see, XRP still struggles to get over that 2018 resistance at 57.1 cents and actually flip it from an area of resistance for the last 6.5 plus years to an area of support. The good news is we've been hugging this line of resistance support, and oftentimes when you're getting ready to power through a position or an area that's been a multi-year resistance, and in this case you can't go back farther in the history to find a downtrending resistance that's been so overwhelmingly powerful. So the fact we're hugging this area and we continue to try to grab support to try to make that eventual flip of the resistance to support is a good sign. The fact that our golden cross in the daily time frame is not invalidated and it still remains very much intact. The fact that we do have some positive momentum in the background, but we still remain on the verge of a very small, let's just say, line of, or a little small area of air where we can come down here a little bit without invalidating a further push up, but still being on the cusp of having a much bigger drop down to 42 cents if we were to break down just a little bit too far here. But with the smaller indicators, with the shorter time frames, it still appears to me that we're trying to break bullish. Now, obviously, our mind can be swayed. And if we come down below 53.8 cents approximately, then we'll start breaking down into a bearish territory. We would have broken past the expansion support. And we'll talk about all of this when we go into this morning's update. We'll have one bit of reading to do today, as well as XRP news today, political shifts and legal rulings. What's next for XRP? So there's a little bit going on between Senator Elizabeth Warren and Johnny Deaton. She criticized them, yada yada yada, for getting some big crypto donations from she calls it from the pack, so just big players. So we'll take a look at what all that's about, and the likelihood of John Deaton actually being able to unseat Elizabeth Warren, which she's a scumbag, but you know, it is what it is. Crypto fear and greed index, we'll take a look at that in a little bit as well. And then we'll take a look at Bitcoin as it's up 742 points this morning, or 1.24%, as we sit at 59,406. So please make sure to hit that like button so YouTube does recommend this update. You hit that like button, YouTube recommends this. We pop up within the YouTube newsfeed, and I become recommendable to everybody who logs into YouTube, and they start searching on YouTube. So whether you've seen my content or not, simply by hitting that like button right now, it'll pass my content onto the YouTube newsfeed, and then everybody can make an educated and informed decision whether or not they want to come see this technical analysis and the reading of what seems to be in the news this morning with us. So make sure to hit that like button, and I will catch you on the other side of the intro. Good morning, 9:39 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Thursday, August 15th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So if you are watching in the abyss somewhere, make sure to hit that like button, but also share this to social media platforms. As we have gone over 22,600 subscribers, we can firmly see 23,000 in front of us. And it really does go a long way if you hit that like button and share this. Really share this and get the word out. So what we're looking at right now for XRP, I think the most important way to look at this is, we won't go all the way back into the timeline of the chart, but what I will say is right now that 57.1 cents, that is the 2018 resistance brought out in the current terms. And to me, it doesn't necessarily look like we're just getting ready to break down. We could, but it looks more like to me it's still, I know it came down pretty far down here when it came down to 54, but I mean, to me it still looks like a bump and run pattern. I can't help it unless it breaks down. This, to me, it looks like a bump and run that should come all the way back up here at some point. What is that? Roughly. It should come back up to that 64.2 cents. I mean, I firmly can see this setting up Now, obviously, we can be invalidated at any moment. I'm not exactly sure what's going on here because it's not letting me highlight this for some reason. I'm going to have to restart this, it looks like. TradingView's been having issues lately. Ever since they went to the more ad-based and, you know, got too big for their bridges. It's becoming a bit of a nightmare. Userability's gone way down, in my opinion. But until there's something better, to the point where I can't even delete my own lines now. And half the time, they don't even show up. So we don't know what's going on anymore with TradingView. So that being said, so what we're looking for here, oh, I didn't even keep it up there, interesting, is like a bump and run. I can see it came down, boom, boom, and now if it bounced, it looks like it wants to come out of here. And I can't help it, but that would bring you somewhere up in this area initially. I mean, we can see how it came down. It's the entirety of this pattern, though, that makes me feel like it's getting ready. Like, this is an inverse right arm right here. Left shoulder, head, down to a right arm. Now, if it can get over 57.1, even if we get rejected, we should see 59.1. But the moment we get above here, we're going to start to seek back out this rising channel resistance. And that's just above us right here. And let's go into recent terms. It was 61.4 cents yesterday. Today, in the most recent terms, it's 61.4 still. And then above that, we have the cup and handle resistance that if we just put it a little bit behind it at 63.20. So that's our two major areas. It still looks like a bump and run pattern. And I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. If this set us up this morning to finish this off, I could argue that we've created an inverse head and shoulders that we've been speculating the last few days finally. This right arm now, if that's what that is, has pulled down farther than left arm. That's an inverse head. If this bounces off, you have no reason to think we're not coming up to 61.4 to at least retest that rising channel resistance. And then if you're playing this out as an inverse head and shoulders on the right, on this right side, basically from where we're at that 567 mark, it's about 3.7% down to that 54.6 if you're thinking it's an inverse head and shoulders setting up. To me, it also looks like we could have that bump and run pattern. And for anybody who doesn't know, you know what? I haven't done this yet every time I talk about it, but let's take a look at the bump and run pattern. I haven't even looked up the bump and run in a very long time. But I think it's very important because I keep mentioning it the last few days. I don't know, it kind of feels like we're in some kind of bump and run. So if you bump, you would come up to a major resistance, and then if you run, I mean, you could break down bearish if you had a bearish breakdown. But the bump phase definitely, it'll bring you a nice elevation point. So if this is a bump phase, you could come back up here to like that 63, and then if you run down, but it does look like it wants to come up here. That looks like an inverse head and shoulders starting to form there. See how it looks in the 45. I mean, that's identifiable now. That looks like an identifiable inverse head and shoulders. See what we're looking at in the 1 minute, because you never want to make an entry in a very small time frame if we're breaking down. I don't know, this makes me feel like we're going to have a little bit of movement to the top side today. That 45 minute, a lot could argue that it leaves a lot to be desired, but it brought back up. Let's see where we went down to on that 45. 56.63. Nah, we're right around that area right now. Smaller time frame, we can see this little reversal that took place here right on the 56.20 support. Which, if we're looking at it, I mean, wow, that's interesting. Man, this looks like a tiered bounce now. Because if you look at this, we have a wider inverse head and shoulders as well. It's just on this right side. In the very short time, I'm telling you, in the short time, this is trying to create an inverse head and shoulders here. This is weird. Not weird, but this is nice. Actually, this is looking a lot nicer now because, I mean, it really does look like we're trying to set up this inversion. This is kind of nice. This is going to be an interesting day today. 57.1, if we can break that and use it as support, we actually have a little bit of volatility here for the upside. Interesting. I like this. I like seeing this. Now, if we break down, we overwhelmingly get a rejection, we'd come down to 54.1 cents. But right now, let me redraw these. This looks like on this right side, it really does look like it's trying to play an inverse head and shoulders. Now this could be a fake out to break our backs and drop our shorts until we don't even own them anymore. But something like that. I mean, that looks like we've started an inverse head and shoulders. And if this plays out true, we should come up to 61 cents. Now our catalyst here is to get up over 57.1 and then we can push up to 61.4. But I mean, unless this breaks down, which we could, and then it could invalidate this thought process, it does look like we're setting up an inverse head and shoulders. Interesting. Interesting. And a descending consolidation are bullish consolidations. The fact that that could be a bump and run would bring us up to 61 or 64, even if it's bearish on the run side of it. Because a bump and run usually generates a bump to the top side and then a run back down. Whether that's to reconsolidate on support or to break down, that's to be determined because you won't know until the pattern goes. But we still have to break up here. We haven't done the most important thing, and that's retake 57.1 and start having this volatile breakout. Now, the good news is that we've hugged, as I started out with in the analysis here, we've hugged this 57.1 cent line. That is important because we're not giving it away. We're not going away easy. So if we can take that 57.1, we really do have some momentum here. And that would be a break and flip of the 2018 resistance. We failed 4 separate times to flip it to support. So it is rather urgent that we would start flipping this. And if we can have a little bit of positive momentum here, I could see a nice rally happening. We could have a very nice rally. And a lot of the market has started to show signs of green. Not everything. Couple percent here and there. We had Ethereum go up and down and left and right. And now Ethereum's bouncing off that 2,641. Looks like that's also put in a wide W reverse. So if we're getting hot today, Ethereum's going to come fill that gap at 2,864 in the next couple days. We're going into a thinly traded weekend tomorrow. Will be the last day of trading this week. Can you believe we're already to the end of the week? It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Time is just going by so damn fast. It's unexplainable. This year is almost back into the time of the pumpkin. The time of the pumpkin. And we're almost to the end of 24 already. It's absolutely phenomenal. With Bitcoin, this is still overriding. If this can hold that support, that's like this inverse head and shoulders, but it was the pivot point resistance. Last time we came through it, we came all the way to 48K. Now if we can bounce off 58,495, there's a reason it keeps bouncing on it. That's a huge pivot point. If we can continue to hold this, we would come back up here in time to that 70,440 area. That's the importance of this. If we can reverse this, it's not just XRP that put in an inverse pattern. Bitcoin's also got this inverse pattern in as well. It's not exactly the same as XRP, but there's a lot of inversion to the top side. So we'll be watching very closely what's going to happen there. Now I need to go through this reading real quick before I run out of time. So XRP news today, political shifts and legal rulings. What's next for XRP? I don't like to read the key points because I want to read it through the article. XRP drops below 57 cents. On Wednesday, August 14th, XRP declined by 1.51%, ending the session at 56.9 cents. The broader crypto market slid by 2.24% to a total market cap of $2.042 trillion. XRP struggles below 60 cents as Securities and Exchange Commission appeal looms. XRP remained at sub 60 cents as investors awaited clarity on the SEC's plans to appeal court rulings from the SEC versus Ripple case. 8 days have passed since the final judgment, with Ripple and the SEC having 60 days to appeal. Subdued chatter about an appeal suggests optimism that the SEC may turn its attention elsewhere. However, the ongoing threat of an SEC appeal against the programmatic sales of XRP ruling remains an XRP headwind. Judge Annalisa Perez ruled that programmatic sales of XRP do not satisfy the third prong of the Howey test. In August 2023, the SEC filed a motion for interlocutory appeal to dispute the programmatic sales ruling. In October 2023, Judge Perez rejected the motion, meaning the SEC had to wait until the final judgment in the SEC versus Ripple case before filing an appeal. Clarity on the SEC's plans regarding the programmatic sales ruling could be crucial for near-term XRP price trends. And onto the SEC plans to appeal could propel XRP toward the July 23 high of 93.27 cents. Deaton criticizes Warren's anti-crypto stance amid Senate bid. On Wednesday, August 14th, amicus curiae attorney Johnny Deaton put the spotlight on U.S. politics. Deaton, a candidate for the United States Senate in Massachusetts, targeted anti-crypto Senator Elizabeth Warren, stating, Senator Warren just sent out a text message saying the following, "It's Elizabeth Warren. We recently found out that a super PAC supporting my Republican opponent, a crypto lawyer from Rhode Island, recruited to run against me, raked in $2 million from 3 massive donations from 2 crypto billionaires and 1 big crypto firm. It's absolutely critical we respond to this PAC's fundraising with a strong surge of support." Deaton represented 75,000 XRP holders in the SEC versus Ripple case. Personally, you'd be spending your money more wisely if you sent it to, a burning building, your bag of money, than sending it to Elizabeth Warren. It would get a lot more done in that burning building. Deaton represented 75,000 XRP holders in the SEC versus Ripple case, playing a critical role in Ripple's defense in the programmatic sales of XRP ruling. In contrast, Senator Warren has targeted the U.S. digital asset space. In 2023, Senator Warren invited the CEOs of major U.S. banks to a banking committee hearing where J.P. Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon referred to crypto, saying, "If I was government, I would close it down." Political shifts, including the ousting of Senator Warren from mainstream politics and Donald Trump election in November, could support an XRP return to $1. However, investors must remain alert. Appeals and SEC activity could adversely impact XRP price trends. Stay updated with our latest news and analysis to exposure to XRP and the broader crypto market. So there's the XRP chart right there as it's broken out of a short-term consolidation. The XRP remained above the 50-day and 200-day exponential moving averages, affirming a bullish price signal. A break above the 57.39 cent resistance level could support a return to 60 cents furthermore. A breakout from 60 cents could give the bulls a run at the 66.09 cent resistance level. Securities and Exchange versus crypto case related updates and Ripple stablecoin RLUSD related news require consideration. Conversely, a drop below the 50-day and 200-day exponential moving averages could bring sub 50 cents in the trend lines into play. With a 14-day RSI reading of 51.14, XRP may climb to the 66.09 cent resistance level before entering overbought territory. So a very good article. And now let's take a look at the crypto fear and greed index before we get out of here. If you're looking to trade XRP worldwide, look in the video description below and our pinned comments. You've got BITUNIX, the lowest spot and leverage trading fees in the USA. It is my personal A1 just because the fees are a little bit lower than everywhere else. You don't need to use a VPN or KYC unless you send a receipt from a bank account with the KYC. And there's many, many different options. You can buy XRP there and many more. Alternatively, there's HOTCOIN in the video description below and our pinned comments. It also has very low spot and leverage trading fees worldwide. You don't need a VPN or KYC unless you are sending from a bank or receiving from a bank for KYC. And then if you want to, they have the XRP Bitcoin pairing there as well. They also have XRP, but you can gain exposure in different avenues. And you can also copy trade me XRP Future MIL if you go in the copy trade after joining through the link in the video description below and our pinned comments. Right now we have a $100 challenge. I haven't made a trade in 4 days, but we are up 5% on our last trade. And overall, we're up 136%, which means if you started with $100 with me and you traded from trade 1 until the end, all the ups and downs, we're up 136% right now cumulatively, and I feel really good about that. So you can always follow me there. I'm very conservative though. So, and now the crypto fear and greed index. So each day we analyze emotions and sentiments from different sources and crunch them into one simple number, the fear and greed index for Bitcoin and other large cryptocurrencies. So right now, the crypto fear and greed index is at 29. That states fear in the market. Yesterday there was fear. Last week there was extreme fear. Last month there was greed at 65. We did get all the way up to last month. At the end of the month on July 29th, we hit 74 for a second time, which is extreme greed. And then we came all the way down here to 17, which is extreme fear. Now we're leveling off here, almost looking like we're getting ready for another move to more greed. So we'll see exactly how this plays out. Thank you all for watching this morning. Make sure to hit that like button before you leave. Subscribe to the channel and join the over 22,600 subscribers, and share this on social media. If you appreciate my work, you can always send a YouTube super chat or join Tom's Army this month. Or if you don't want to do it through YouTube, you can always go to Cash App and send you can send a quick Cash App at TomJr222. Have a blessed morning. If you made it until the end, hashtag be better, do better in the comments.